We've got a really interesting stack of notes today. We are doing a deep dive into an adult ADHD care guide specifically for Carmel, Indiana.
Yeah, it's a super specific area,
Yeah.
but the mission here is, well, to cut through that local information overload.
Right, because trying to figure out the landscape of care options so you can find a sustainable fit it's a lot.
It really is.
Think about it like this. When you outgrow a t-shirt as a kid, you just buy a bigger one. But adult medical care, especially for ADHD, isn't a t-shirt.
No, definitely not.
You need a tailored suit. I mean, you have a career, daily, adult functioning, long-term goals.
Right, and trying to squeeze into a care model that's designed mostly for children leaves a lot of adults feeling, well, just incredibly frustrated.
So looking at the Carmel area, where do people usually start?
The traditional first step is usually looking toward the big hospital systems, places like, IU Health Psychiatry or Ascension St. Vincent.
Wait, let me stop you right there. Because IU Health is a massive research hospital system. Shouldn't a giant network inherently have, like, the most cutting-edge resources for this?
You'd think so, yeah.
Why isn't bigger always better?
It really comes down to broad generalizations versus deep specialization. I mean, huge systems are built to handle everything.
From severe acute trauma to, like, general psychiatric crises?
Exactly. So adult ADHD isn't always their primary specialized focus. And mechanistically, they require layers of triage.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so that means you're often dealing with primary care referrals, complex insurance hoops, and ultimately significantly longer wait times just to be seen.
So you're basically waiting months just to get through the front door.
Pretty much.
What about places specifically built for this? The guide mentions Indie ADHD, right?
Yeah, so Indie ADHD is a specialized private clinic. They focus purely on ADHD diagnosis and offer both virtual and in-person care. But here is the friction point. Physical specialty clinics directly within Carmel are relatively limited. The demand just far outweighs the physical supply.
Okay, so if the massive hospitals have massive wait lists and local physical specialists are booked up, are you just stuck sitting in limbo?
Not anymore, actually. This geographical bottleneck is exactly why the care model has shifted so heavily toward telehealth for Carmel residents.
Oh, wow. So it operates as like a structural bypass.
Exactly. You skip the Indianapolis commute and the scheduling log jams entirely.
Okay, but I mean, telehealth is everywhere now. What makes a specific provider actually effective for this rather than just being a quick 10-minute video call?
Well, let's look at Ion Focus first. They're an Indiana-based psychiatric clinic serving Carmel virtually. And the differentiator isn't their video software.
Right, it's the clinical approach.
Yeah. They evaluate the quote-unquote whole person
Yeah.
rather than just running you through a computerized attention test.
Let's clarify that for a second. What is the actual difference between a testing-heavy diagnostic process and a whole-person clinical evaluation?
So a testing-heavy model relies on computerized tasks, like clicking a button when you see a specific letter, just to measure attention span and impulsivity in a vacuum.
Okay, and the clinical psychiatric evaluation?
That looks at your entire life history. It investigates how your symptoms manifest in the real world, your emotional regulation, and, crucially, any overlapping mental health conditions.
Ah, so a computer test might say, you can focus on this screen for 10 minutes, but it completely misses the fact that you're only focusing because your anxiety is through the roof.
Yes, exactly.
It's like putting a bucket under a leaky roof instead of fixing the pipe. If you just treat the anxiety, the underlying ADHD is still flooding the house.
That is the exact mechanism at play. Because, well, adult ADHD rarely travels alone.
Right, from years of masking it.
Exactly. Years of trying to keep up with work or social expectations often generates severe anxiety, depression, or insomnia. And In Focus First treats those co-occurring issues simultaneously. They provide medication management and comprehensive care without isolating the ADHD from the rest of your brain's chemistry.
So for you listening, making a choice isn't just about picking a random name off a list. It's about knowing your own operating system.
It comes down to defining your priorities, really.
Mm-hmm.
Do you value the convenience of telehealth, or do you physically need to sit in a room with a provider?
Right. And do you want a diagnosis based strictly on formal testing, or do you need that broader psychiatric evaluation that catches those overlapping issues?
Exactly. You have to choose the structure that actually supports your life.
You have to find that tailored suit.
And that leaves us with a lingering question.
Oh, I love a good final thought. Let's hear it.
If adult ADHD presents so differently from the childhood models, if it requires such a highly customized approach, how many adults out there are currently fighting what they think is just stubborn, unyielding anxiety or chronic insomnia.
Thinking it's just normal stress or whatever.
It's exactly. Completely unaware that it's actually unmanaged ADHD, just hiding in plain sight.